So after some very lackluster Disney Marvel performances, Hawkeye, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, even Loki, nothing is really hit for us. Well, we have a new one. I know nothing about the character. Is it any good? Alright, so let's face it. In our minds right now, Marvel has not had the best history on Disney Plus for us. They have not seemed to be shows for us.
Like,
No.
you,
In a lot
you
of
think of
cases.
Marvel, you think of must-watch movies.
Maybe they're finding their groove still. They're finding
I think they're just
TV groove.
they're trying to find a broader audience with younger people and that. And that's why Hawkeye was geared towards younger audience members.
I don't know. I don't know if you can give them that break. Because Iron Man, Captain America, they're all young person friendly.
That's true. I mean, it's not like they're for old people.
I think they
Although-
have a cast of
although
TV
we like
writers,
them.
TV writers that just haven't hit it yet.
Okay. Well, speaking of that, we now have Oscar Isaac in Moon Knight. And why am I drawing a blank on the villain? What's
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke.
You know him from Training Day with Denzel Washington.
Yeah, I was very, very surprised to see Ethan Hawke in this movie. I went, oh my god. I knew nothing that he was in this series.
Apparently, he's neighbors with Oscar Isaac, and Oscar said, "Hey,
Oh, yeah?
you want to be in my movie?"
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah, and I think he actually looks like a good villain. Like, he looks like that guy you can trust, and then that guy who's going to stab you in the back.
Yeah.
So he makes that transition
Very guru-ish.
well.
He is actually portraying his character as a real life cult leader. I forget the guy's name, Koish or something like that. But that's what he's basing it on.
Okay.
Okay, and we have Oscar Isaac, who plays a guy who has multiple personality disorder. And it starts off right away with him waking up in bed,
Chained
and
to
he's
bed.
tied to the bed. So he knows if he goes anywhere, kind of thing. And right away, it kind of draws you in what's going on, right? It poses a question right off the bat. Without giving away too much into the spoilers and everything, what did you guys think of the show?
I wasn't expecting much from it. But yeah, right from the opening, and he's tied to the bed, and little things that he's noticing are different, and so you know that something's happening at night when he's sleeping. And then the shocking instances of him just sort of all of a sudden in a place and he doesn't know how he got there makes you start to ask questions, and I got pretty sucked in.
Yeah, there's lots of mystery happening that I say, okay, I know what's happening. Why is it happening? Where is this going to? And this isn't the traditional lead character. This guy is a weirdo, really. And he's one of those, I don't know, guys that just nobody likes.
He's socially awkward.
Socially awkward. His boss doesn't like him very much. He doesn't say the right things at the right time.
Yeah.
And you want to see, okay, how is this weirdo handling all these weird things that are happening?
Yeah, but then when he's going through his day-to-day life, he'll run into like a girl in the office, and she'll be like, "Hey, it was nice running into you last night. I can't wait for our date." And he has no idea what's going on, but he's okay. I'll go with it.
But the weird thing is that he was chained to his bed. He has sand around his bed so he could see if he steps in the sand and sleepwalks or something like that. Everything is okay. The tape on the door is still there, so you know he's not going anywhere. And yet, he apparently was somewhere.
Yeah. And what it is one of the personalities that's taken him over is actually kind of like a spy, right? Mark.
I don't know yet.
I think that
He's an action hero kind of personality.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And that's why the girl who says, "Nice running into you last night," she met the other guy who is cool and sophisticated, knows what he's doing, and talks sexy and that kind of stuff.
But we don't see that.
We
guy.
don't see that yet, but you can kind of read that. Picture a guy who's all nuts, and then all of a sudden he's James Bond.
yeah, I think that you might be misunderstanding something though. He doesn't have multiple personality disorder. It's not a bunch of personalities. He's turning into this one guy all the time.
See, we don't know. We know
Yeah,
there's somebody
that-
else in there.
He's turning into this Mark. What's his name? What's his last name? He's turning into this guy all the time. That's his alter ego.
But is this Mark guy like some kind of like big a Batman superhero inside of him that takes control? Or is
Yes.
that one entity, and there's another entity? And
There's more, because listen, there's multiple voices, and one guy goes, oh no, the doofus is back.
Yeah.
You gotta let Mark take over.
Right.
So he says there's more than one voice in his head.
Yes. His and his alter ego.
No, there's more than those two.
like, I don't know. I don't know if
And the
it's
narrator.
We never hear Mark until he goes into the bathroom. We never hear that guy talk. We hear another guy talk.
So you think it's a Venom situation where it's
Yeah.
just one other entity inside trying to take control?
Yeah, it's this godlike. Yes.
Well, Mark's not a god.
No, godlike.
Okay. Well, I think it's more than one. I think there's gods.
I think he's a massive like fighter and a smooth talker and sly.
So
and
if
quick.
if you could see this character as an entity, there's the regular guy, and then there's this entity. You think he's a big guy with a sword and a mask and that kind of thing.
No, not necessarily. I just think he's a lot more confident and knows how to fight and has skills.
Except
Like every
but
every time
spoiler here.
every time he goes to sleep and comes back awake, everyone around him is on the floor. He whatever he did well.
yes, except spoiler alert here. At the end, he's Moon Knight. He's not no spy guy. He's all of a sudden dressed in bandages and all this. So he's not just that.
That's actually the only part of the show that I didn't like. I didn't like. Okay,
But that is
I
Moon
didn't-
Knight.
I know, but I didn't like the costume. I think this would have been really really awesome if it was if what was happening during the series was what was happening, right? And not this all of a sudden this bandaged superhero guy in a costume at the end.
I really liked Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke. I thought their acting was amazing.
Yeah.
The one thing I didn't like was the Venom voice. Like the voice inside his head, it was too generic for me or something like that. I say, oh, this is just one of those things. Guy is off in a studio reading his lines kind
Yeah.
of thing.
I wasn't crazy about that.
So one of the things I really liked in this first episode that we've seen is the action scene that they shot. They do a chase scene. And instead of being
Cupcake truck.
just ridiculous, like remember when we watched the Hawkeye chase scene and we went, this is so dumb. Well, this one, because it's multiple like he keeps switching back and forth, he'll be driving along and he's going, how am I going to do this? And all of a sudden, the next thing you know, the guys beside him have crashed. There's all this action happening around him. He's holding a gun and he goes, he doesn't know what he's doing. I thought that was really, really well done. I liked how and it would have results. Like you'd see him all of a sudden go like this, and then the car who is chasing him is going off a cliff beside him.
After he comes back into awareness,
Yeah.
things are still happening
around him, so it's like continuous. It's not just it's just a bunch of guys lying on the ground now.
And he's always in these like no-win situations. Like you're now surrounded.
Yeah.
And there's no way out. And then he flashes into this alter ego and
Yeah, what was this thing? Did he transport to a different world?
no.
Like when he goes to the cult place, is that a different world entirely?
It's a country. It's a different country.
Is it?
That's why his date was supposed to be Friday night. And when he called, like he woke up, he went to the restaurant. She didn't show up, and he called her. It was
Please.
Sunday.
It was 2 days later, and Ethan Hawke's character shows up at his place of work.
Yeah, but Ethan Hawke's character is obviously an avatar for a god or a goddess or something like that.
Possibly. But I think it's the same universe.
Okay.
No, he left the country to go on whatever alter ego mission he was on.
Now, another scene that I liked, the very end, in the bathroom when he's being hunted, and he starts talking to his alter ego in the mirror. And the mirror is him, but much more confident, etc., trying to explain, you gotta let your body go, you gotta let me go, I can save us, etc. And like he's running around, but the mirror's not moving. The mirror's kind of watching him. I love that scene. That was really well shot.
Yeah.
Okay, Moon Knight. Sounds like we kind of liked it,
I really like
Oh, I liked it.
right? Now, are you excited for the second episode?
Well, excited is a strong word, but I really enjoyed this, and I'll continue watching the series.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, that's more than we did for the other Disney Plus shows.
Yeah, because I was dreading watching the next episode
Exactly.
of those shows.
At this one, we're saying, okay, you know what? I will watch the next show.
Yeah.
So as far as I'm concerned, this has been the best day one show out of all the Disney Plus I've watched.
It's also the only one that's been rated for a higher age.
Really
group
high, yeah.
because it's a horror based. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. But and you know
I didn't see anything scary in it.
the two. Well,
No.
the creatures chasing him at the end, and the horror elements, and the flashing lights, and all that.
I suppose.
For younger kids, could be scary, right? And then I thought it ended at the exact right time. Moon Knight makes an appearance, turns around, and you see him, and that's when it ends and leads into the next episode. It didn't. We didn't see Moon Knight until the final seconds of the show. And I thought I'm looking forward to the next show. I hope they keep it up. I'm into this show now. I think it's so far the best Disney Plus Marvel show I've watched. At least for episode 1.
Yeah, they actually treated it like they were trying,
Yeah.
right? So
And the acting is
Tom Knott, Oscar Isaac, yeah. He has the chops, right? So, all right. That's our review of Moon Knight episode 1. So far, so good. Best MCU possibly so far on Disney Plus. Fingers crossed they keep it up.